Let me explain to you what we are seeing from YouTube. It does not match the headlines. See, officially all this is being done, the demonetization of videos on YouTube, if they contain hot words that they don't like. But in doing so, they're demonetizing content creators like myself for uploading videos that are critical of extremist behavior. So if you use a keyword to describe the extremists, or if you describe their racism, or if you discuss how civilians are being killed, the civilians that are between Donald Trump and ISIS, those videos are demonetized. Now, the video in which I was discussing recently, a recent upload, in which I sat down at the desk and produced a news piece, it wasn't just audio, so I would assume that maybe YouTube would demonetize podcasts, real fake news, things of that nature, lower quality videos. You'd think the advertisers would be interested in organic content when someone puts in their blood, sweat, and tears into a video that they created, especially if they spend a few hours on it or a few minutes editing it. They didn't just do a straight audio upload. Well, the signs that we're getting from YouTube is that making money off clickbait hasn't gone away. This type of behavior only encourages it. If someone is passionate about addressing a series of topics and quote unquote exposing extremism in this country in some of the ways that it does exist, doesn't matter. Basically what YouTube is saying is we don't even want your kind, independent videographers, or whatever word you choose to use, content creators on YouTube. Go do that somewhere else on your own time, on your own platform. So here's a question that I have. Do they have like a protected persons list? See, here are the corporations, here are the approved channels, right? They can talk about ISIS. They can talk about World War III. They can talk about North Korea. They can talk about these things. But the little guy can't. I hope my listeners are starting to understand that I need your support on demand. And I want also for the listeners to go back and listen to my call out for help for a contact in each major city in the United States. But in particular, Portland, Seattle, the California area, and then the East Coast. And I'm looking for people, I don't care whether you smoke pot or not, I want you to follow through on your offer, not forget in a few days, like 99.9% of the people. We need to get the content out, the warnings out on a non-YouTube way, non-internet way. One of the more obvious ways that can be done is through Access TV. Some of you still don't know what that is, despite all the technology for you to Google and find out what that is. It's unfortunate. Some of you do. Some of you don't know if there's an Access TV facility in your urban area. But what Access TV is a channel on cable television. That's right. And there's something about reaching people through the actual physical television, which people still use. Yes, I know that people have gone the direction of the internet and Netflix, but we are seeing them closing the doors. And I've reached a lot of people, countless people in my former community of Portland, Oregon. And there are many other people that have reached people with unique messages that are typically scoffed at by the government, by the establishment. And so before BoobTube, before YouScrew, before YouTube, you had a lot of people starting out on Access TV, and it's become somewhat of a medium that is its own anarchy of information. And so it's not without, however, its value. So I'm going to be returning to things like that. I think that there's no real point to going back and producing on VHS tapes. But there is a benefit as well to the analog spectrum. But coming back down to our main topic. See, things like this don't happen on Access TV. Of course, there's no monetization of programs on Access TV. So this is a de facto form of censorship, where right now we're at the stage of, okay, well, we can still upload videos, but let's retitle them. Let's not use XYZ buzzword. Now, is there going to be a positive connotation to this? Am I going to see less fake Islamic rape news? Well, the election's already over. They already have their Donald Trump. Now genocide is on the dinner menu. Beef, it's what for dinner? Yes, as people joke more and more about cannibalization. Hell, I heard the neighbors joke about eating and raping Iranians. How do you think that made me feel? How do you think it makes me feel now? Living the isolated life, while I may have a few of you listening, none of you are helping me in any capacity whatsoever. Except for my friend Miss Hernandez down in Texas, who helps with webmaster work and technical questions. There is no other. So we are now in this day and age of censorship, ladies and gentlemen, on an official level, even though it's a free speech, even though it's a corporate platform, rather, it's a corporate private platform. So it is a free speech issue to a point. When you really look at it, it's a free market decision, if you will, with the advertisers pulling out, which is not against the law. Yes, it's about control. What else is new? You're saying you're surprised the corporations are pulling their weight on YouTube? It's like the little guy helped build YouTube. Now we're about to see a flip. We're about to see a major flip. I'm not going to doubt China's involvement in this either. We know about their involvement in Hollywood, and I know how many videos I've made about Russia and China that have been demonetized for discussing those nations in a less than favorable light. I'm Alex Ansary, sign off on this early morning of April 3rd, 2017.